So I'd like you to find your comfortable seated position. If you want to rest on your back this morning, if this isn't comfortable, then give yourself permission to do that. If you've been already cross-legged in one direction for the check-in, go ahead and cross the opposite way so that you're balanced. And we'll take a moment to close the eyes. We've got the nice background buzz of the bees in that eucalyptus tree. So let's just take a moment as if that was the om and vibration of the universe. Just let the song they're singing be absorbed by the ears effortlessly. Take a breath of gratitude this morning to all of the nature around us. And continue just feeling your own rhythm of your breath and that audible sound that you can hear. There's two parts to the breath, your inhale and your exhale. Feel the crown of your head in line with your tailbone as you continue to elongate the length of your inhale and your exhale for 4 more breath cycles. And Joe, if the flies are bothering you, you could actually close your ears with the palms and listen to your breath. It's a great trick actually to hear the Ujjayi breath. It's like you're listening to a seashell. So let's everybody continue 4 more breath cycles with the rhythm of the breath that you found. After this 4th breath cycle, go ahead and relax the back of the throat, taking a nice swallow so you're bringing moisture. And then remove any effort of the breath. We'll start in the high knee stance. And then bring this breath to movement. And I'd like you to pad your knees for a high knee stance. And your blanket is in the center of your mat, so you have a little sticky space in the front and the back. So a couple contraindications for this pranayama, the life force, or bringing life force in through the breath in today's practice. If you have a tendency of any anxiety, then the hold after inhale will just be implied, but you won't actually be holding your breath because you might already be doing that throughout the day. In which case, holding after the exhale is going to be more nourishing for you. If you're not really sure, and we go throughout the practice and you feel some weird things, just take a few easy breaths at any point, okay? This isn't a competition or an aerobics of the breath. So knees are under the sit bones, And again, let's take a moment. Now the shins are rooted into the earth, and feel the crown of the head in line again with the tailbone, so you're not leaning forward. There's a nice feeling of centeredness. And spin your palms out to the side. Let's feel the stretch of the arm line as you bring your arms overhead, bending your elbows as soon as you feel tension in the neck. Be honest. That's your point. And then from here, you're going to draw your abdominals in, lean your hips back towards the heels, and bring your forehead to the earth as you sweep your hands to the lower back. Now, lead with the heart by squeezing the shoulder blades together, and again feel the crown of the head moving with the rest of the spine as you come up. Palms spiral out to the side and push down through the legs. And let's repeat that alignment again, drawing the belly in, lean back, forehead towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch. Now with the breath, inhale, come up. And exhale, down. Inhale, begin to count through breath like the seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Exhale for 4 on your own. Find a rhythmic count that works with your breath, and continue as you come up. So it's almost like you're counting the rhythm of your heart. And maybe the 4 count is too short. You can move to a 5 or a 6 count. Continue. We're going to add a head turn option. Coming up with the count of the breath. Turning your head to the right as you exhale if that's appropriate for your neck. Stretching out any tension in the neck and shoulders. Head to center. Keep with that rhythm. Head to the left. And again, inhale, come up. And stay lifted. Relax the breath. Hold on to the left wrist. And let your breath be free as you lean to the right. So as you breathe in this pause moment, you're not counting. Just feel the left rib cage opening. With the arms overhead, you can just rock your neck from side to side. Make sure there's no gripping in the jaw. And the other side. Come back up to center. Hold on to the right wrist. Just stretch. And feel as you breathe, especially on that inhale, there's that opening in the side of the rib cage. And come back to center. And come all the way to a high knee stance. To a kneeling position. So palms are under the shoulders this time. Knees are under your hips. So knees are about sit bone distance apart, not all the way together. So this time, as you inhale and exhale, we're going to add a slight hold after each breath. So let's start with the count together, and then you'll go on your own. As you inhale, lift your heart for 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Slight pause. Lift your heart even more forward. Exhale back for a 4th count. Leaning your hips all the way back towards the sit bone, softening the upper body to the floor. Slight pause after you exhale. And count 4 counts as you come forward again back to our starting point, to the heart center opening. Slight pause after your inhale. And exhale back at your own pace. Bringing your sit bones all the way back towards the heels. And pause after your exhale. And continue 4 more times on your own. So discover what that rhythmic count is for you. And once you've breathed all the way out, just pause for a moment after the exhale. And as you come forward, pause just for a moment right after your inhale. Nice. And especially with neck and shoulder stuff, make sure you're really surrendering the upper body to the floor, almost like a child's pose. There's that pause where the neck gets to rest. About 2 more times at your own pace. Nice. Now let's stay all the way back. Relax the breath, but keep reaching your fingers to the front of the mat. And walk your hands over to the right, again in the lateral child's pose. So we're stretching the side of the waist as the breath relaxes. And you can just feel the natural fullness of the breath and the movement in the left side of the heart center. Yeah. And then just walk your hands the opposite direction. Notice any sensations or differences. Again, no counting of the breath here, but still observe the sensation of the breathing and that opening of the side of the right heart center. Nice. And then come back to center. And from here we're going to come into a cobra position. So let's carefully come into our bellies. I'm going to give you some different options for the neck today. So option 1, you're not bending the arms. Your arms are straight by your hips. And we'll just all try this variation first. This is wonderful variation if you're in front of the computer and you feel like you need the heart opening in this position. So keep your legs energized, and you're going to draw your abdominals in for support of the lower back. You're going to lift your heart up and lift your arms up off the ground. And let's bring our thumbs up towards the sky like a hitchhiker. Now feel the shoulder blades in the part of the back you're strengthening, and then go ahead and release back down. So that might be a beautiful opening for some of you, but for some of you it might not feel great. So let's try the variation where your palms are on the ground, right by the shoulders and your elbows are bent. And let's just feel the difference. Energize the legs, draw the belly in, and then inhale, lift your chest up. Now stay lifted. You should be lifting up not from the push of the arms, so you should actually be able to lift your palms up. Now make sure your gaze forward, no pinching in the neck, and then go ahead and release down. So the third variation is where the forearms actually are rested on the ground. The forearms are on the palms are there on your sticky mat. But again, you're not pushing with the arms. You're working the back muscles. So again, energize the legs, draw the belly in, and inhale, lift up. Shoulder blades down the back. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. And then release back down. And just pause for a moment. Relax the breathing. And move to the variation you'd like to work with. So I'm feeling the arms back down by the hips for me today. And sometimes it's nice just to try something different. So we're going to add the count of your inhale and a hold after inhale for those of you who feel it's appropriate. Everybody energize your legs, draw your belly in first. On your next inhale, come up for 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Hold after inhale, lift your heart, and full exhale to release back to the earth. Option to turn your head each time as you come down. Inhale, 4 second count. Come up on your own. Hold after inhale. And full exhale to release down. So continue. We're going to add a 2-second hold after your inhale. So continue. Come up for option 4 count. Inhale. 2 count hold after inhale. You change the time a bit. Yes. Full exhale as you release down, and repeat that same ratio that you're working with. And I can see some of you are lifting the legs, which is fine as long as your body feels warmed up for that. Option moving into a 4-second hold after inhale. 2 more times. Thumbs up here. Yeah, feel that strengthening. Beautiful. Last time, just stay true with the rhythm that you're working with. If the 4 count's too strong, repeat the 2-second hold after inhale. Nice. Beautiful. Relax the breath when you're back down to the earth. Bring your palms by your shoulders and push back to child's pose. In child's pose, we're just resting and pausing here. If your forehead doesn't touch the ground, then you can use a block right underneath the forehead or the hand. So you might feel like, wow, we were doing just a warm-up cobra pose, and you could feel a lot happening with your breath.
Okay.
So it's really important in this kind of practice that you are honest to yourself, that you are truthful to yourself. So if you're feeling, wow, those hold after inhale, I do feel actually tightening in my neck or anxiety, then that might not be appropriate for you, like I said at the beginning of the class. So we'll always come back to a position like this where we're just pausing and feeling. So let's come back to our hands and knees, and we're going to focus on the exhale. So we're going to repeat that Chakravarkasana. Palms under the shoulders, knees under your hips. So your inhale is nice and full as you lift your heart. You just feel that same opening as you did in Cobra. 4-second count on your exhale, you move back. All together, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Let the breath leave the body. Pause after your exhale. Then inhale is full as you come forward. Counting your exhale as you move back on your own. Maybe your exhale 6 seconds. Squeeze the breath out, pause, surrender, and then inhale as full as you come forward again. 4 more times. No hold after your inhale. Focus is the count of the exhale, and we're moving into a 2-second hold after exhale. So everybody let the neck and shoulders relax during that hold. Yes, elbows to the earth. And let your inhale be full, coming forward when you're ready. Repeat the 2-second hold. Let the neck release as you move back. 2 more times, option to move into a 4-second hold after exhale. If that's too strong, repeat the 2-second hold. Repeat the same count that you're on last time. So this time as you come forward, just pause on your hands and knees, relax the breath. And take a nice swallow, bringing moisture to the back of the throat. You can curl the back toes under. And if it's appropriate for you to move into downward dog, you're going to come into downward dog. Otherwise, stay in child's pose. We're all just going to pause and feel in whatever position is appropriate. If you're in your downward dog, feel from the tailbone to the crown of the head is one long line, and let's start with our knees bent. Emphasis is the elongation of the spine. Breath gets to relax here. And let's just walk out any tension. One leg at a time, bringing one heel to the earth as the opposite leg bends. Yeah. Some movement in. And notice that tendency that the neck and shoulders have to grip in here, and just see if we can bring more of the gravity emphasis on the leg. And then let's rest the knees again. Last time, everybody in child's pose, just pause and feel. Forehead to the earth, block or hand. Again, breath gets to relax here. Neck and shoulders get to relax. So sometimes even when we think we're relaxing, there's like a layer that can let go. Now everybody again, bring your arms forward to the front of your mat, stretching in an extended child's pose. This can also be a nice adaptation for downward dog today. So again, at any point we come into downward dog, give yourself permission to come into here. And again, let's walk our hands over to the right side, moving into that lateral stretch. The head can rest on the opposite arm here. No counting of the breath. We're just letting the breath return back to a natural state. And then walk your hands to the opposite side. And I want you to feel that that right arm is extending from the side of the waist, not right by the shoulder. So how does that feel different when that right arm is extending from the side of the waist and not just by the shoulder and neck? Now come back to center and feel both sides of the waist extending so the arms reach from the side of the waist. We're going to bring that into downward dog, or you're going to stay here. Everybody come forward, back to your hands and knees. Curl the back toes under. Option downward dog. And see if you can find that same sensation. The sides of the waist elongating. Again, give yourself permission to bend your knees. Let's pause here for 4 breaths. Keep looking for that expansion along the sides of the waist. We're going to use this to transition to come to standing. So when you're ready, you're going to take little baby steps forward, or you can lunge forward to come to standing. You can also bring your hands back towards the feet. And then move the blanket to the side. If you're in your forward bend, just mindfully come up. And let's just circle the shoulders for a moment. So especially when learning some of those anatomical kind of alignment of downward dog specifically, we just want to make sure we're not adding tension today. So let's feel like our feet are in mountain pose, rooted to the earth. Let's pause with our head to center. And if it's appropriate for you to bring the right ear to the right shoulder, go ahead and feel that nice stretch. Couple breaths. As the left shoulder moves down, we'll away from the ear. Let's stop moving. Let's massage the neck, pushing the chin forward. To the other side for a couple breaths. Repeat each time one more time. Each side, your own pace. Should feel good, whatever that stretch is. So Joe, make sure you're not overdoing that movement, right? Mm-hmm. So last time to the left. And when you've done both sides equally, I want you to just pause with your chin tucked in center. And then effortlessly let the crown of the head lift up towards the sky. And again, just take a moment, feel the crown of the head in line with the tailbone energetically. Obviously, there's beautiful curves of the spine in between. I'm pausing here in your mountain pose. I'd like you to return back to your comfortable maximum count of your breath for both your inhale and exhale. So you're going to focus on the count of the breath. Maybe it's a 4-second count. Maybe it's 5 or maybe it's 6. It should be comfortable yet steady. And again, you could bring your hands to your ears to listen to the breath. Relax the count of the breath. Take a nice swallow. I'm going to bring that count into movement, but before we begin, just as in comparison, Joe, what count are you working with right now?
A 4.
A 4. And Catherine? 6. So it also depends on how fast you're counting, right? So don't feel like you have to get to an 8 count, because it could just be that you're counting faster. It's really about a number and a rhythm that works for you. So we're going to start adding that hold after inhale again. Again, that's option if there's no anxiety and you're feeling like you can follow that. The feet are circle distance apart. Your right leg is going to come forward. Left leg a little further back for a deep lunge. So your knee is going to bend. Now remember, we don't want to feel too much of like a balance issues here. And if you feel like you don't balance, widen the stance today so you feel really grounded and rooted. Our arm position, we're going to bring our arms low and back. You're going to lift your heart center up. It's kind of like that cobra feeling, but you should feel the legs now energized even more. From here, let's bring our hands to our heart, straightening the front leg. We're going to add a little neck stretch as we tuck the chin down. Let's add the count of the inhale as you bend your front leg, bringing your arms back. Pause after inhale, lift your heart even more. And then exhale, your own pace. Hands to the heart, tuck the chin. And continue. Moving into a 2-second hold after inhale, or a 2-count hold. Repeat that. Two times, 4-count hold after inhale. Or stay with the 2-count if that's appropriate. On the hold, feel your heart opening even more. Release with a full exhale. No need to count. Two more times. Option to increase the hold after inhale for 2 more. So 4 or 6 count hold after inhale. Last time. When your hands are to the heart, relax the breath. Let your breath be full and bring your head in alignment with the rest of the spine. Your hands are going to come to your thigh. You're going to draw your abdominal support as you come into a forward bend. Resting your hands to a shin or to the floor. I do have some extra blocks. Remember, if you have any low back stuff, bend your knee a little bit just to support the back, just in case. Let your breath be full, and this is our pause here. And everybody let the weight of the neck and head just melt out of the shoulders. Nice. Couple more free breaths. Just figure out and keep your knee bent. Now we're going to practice a good posture as we come up. Let's bring our arms back towards the hips. Lift with your heart and bring the crown of the head in line with the tailbones. You're halfway. And then bend your front leg and lift with your heart so just come all the way up. Go ahead and relax. And we're going to pause for a mountain pose. You can step forward or back, whatever feels like a good transition. And just pause and feel. So we do have little flagstones here. Make sure that you're on at least the same one so you feel balanced. Yeah, now we have the bees and the birds. I love it. Now we're going to do the same progressive sequence on the other side. Let's take a moment. Look that the feet are sit-bone distance apart. Let's find that alignment in Warrior One position. Virabhadrasana 1. Bend the front leg. Find that support, that anchor first. Now we're going to change the arm position. This time, you're going to bring your arms up. And I want you to lean a little forward first. And on that hold after inhale, you're going to lift your heart and bring your arms a little further back. Feel the difference? And then you'll release on the exhale, completely bent. Okay, with the breath, when you're ready, 4, 6, or 8 count, inhale. Hold after inhale, lift your heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together, arms back, and full exhale as you release. Moving right into the 2 count hold after inhale on your own. Lean slightly forward first. Lower back elongates. Hold after inhale as your heart lifts even more. And full exhale. Straighten the front leg, relax the arms in. Repeat, same thing. Four seconds. Hold after inhale. Repeat. Lean forward. On the hold, lift your heart back. Try not to lead with the chin, lead with the heart. Two more times. Feel that breath workout here. Option adding 2 counts. Listen to your body or stay with that same ratio you were working with. After this last time, relax your breath. And at your own time, you come into that forward bend. Keep that alignment of the whole spine. your own time. So our rest position is our one-legged forward bend, pausing and feeling, letting the neck release. So again, feel any tension in the upper body pouring out of the shoulders, out through the crown of the head.
Yeah. Feels good. I'll be feeling right here in the back.
Couple more free breaths. And the back heel really roots into the earth. This time as you come up, we're going to bend our elbows just like we were. Come up halfway, feel the alignment of the crown of the head, and then come all the way up, bending the front leg. Keep the chin softly tucked. Yeah, and let's go ahead and release. Again, pause in Tadasana, mountain pose. Now that we've done both sides equally, should feel a little better. So who says we need to go for a jog to work out our lungs, right? Hopefully you can really feel that strengthening, very detoxifying. And you're going to either stay here in center, or this time you're going to turn your head over the right shoulder. And just feel a little twist in the cervical neck. It should feel like you're not pulling or straining. Let's just come back to center and move gently to the other side. And notice if your range of motion is different from one side to the other. Let's just repeat to the first side. Keep the jaw relaxed. Notice any gripping in the shoulders, try to relax that. Back to center and over to the left. And pause, back to center. And notice in your center, what we're calling center today, you feel the weight of the head forward. Or can you bring that weight back as if you were pushing the back of the head into a wall behind you? And just feel how your whole spine, it's like those chakras lining up from the tailbone, that chakra of the throat center, and the crown of the head. And then soften the knees here. I want you to feel that same alignment. We're just going to do a gentle, free little twist here. And your knees are soft as you twist. And in this position, the hips are kind of moving with you. And I want you to notice, are you turning your head with the same shoulder that you're twisting? Or is it comfortable for you to turn your head the opposite direction? So you're actually more like stay gazed forward. And again, like if there's arthritis of the neck or anything, you just want to be mindful that you're doing a movement with that foot. So in like Tai Chi, they add a little some fingers into the back, like adrenal area. So when you twist, the fingers kind of bring awareness right to that lower back. And there should be like a fluidity. So notice, is there rigidity in any part of it? And how could you move in a way that's a little more free? And then let's slowly come back to center. So I did that intentionally to prepare us for a standing twist. I'm going to borrow Timmy's block here and show you how we're going to do it, because it's really important that you can feel that neck alignment, or else you're going to have gravity working against you and some muscles will tighten. So in this position, the hips do not move. We're going to come down to the floor. Martha, you might be flying with the hands to the ground. Everybody else, you might want to block. Now the goal is to feel your spine is straight, and the focus here as we twist is we're twisting more from the upper, like thoracic spine, the upper body. And look at my neck. My neck is turned up, but I can also gaze down. And how we're going to do it is we're going to come back to center. You're using really the leg muscles to come up, and you're using the core and the legs to switch to the opposite side. And watch, I'm pushing the block away to kind of give a little leverage into the twist. As you get more warmed up, because we're adding the breath, we're going to count your exhale. You're going to twist on the hold after exhale. Option top arm extends. Look as I come back to center. My inhale is nice and full as I come up, okay? So it's a little bit of a choreography, but most importantly, some of you said neck stuff. So really, in the whole scheme of things, we just want to make sure that you're really balanced in whatever you choose. Did that make sense? Okay, so let's face those beautiful mountains. If you have any low back stuff, then you might want to just pause in a forward bend and not do the twist. So let's first find that alignment. Go ahead and come down to the ground, feeling the strength of the legs.
Just a little more in.
Yeah. And then bring your left hand to the floor, or the block. And find at first a straight spine. So you can even come out to your fingertips. Push the block away, and bring the right hand to the lower back. Now bring the right shoulder up towards the sky without twisting in the hips. Push the block away, feel that twist, and if it's too much to the neck to gaze up towards the sky, gaze down to the block. Then bring your right hand to the lower back, spiral back to center, and nice deep inhale, both arms bring you up. Yeah, so your whole posture is working during that transition. Let's just feel that alignment on the other side. The right hand. So first feel your spine is straight, soft tuck of the chin. Then bring the left shoulder up towards the sky, push the floor away from you. Option head turns. And then spiral back to center. And come all the way up with a straight back. Beautiful. Let's take a moment, bring the arms down. We're going to build that breath. Make sure your toes are not 45 degrees out from the heel. They're more in line, so the outside part of the foot is in line with the rest of the foot. Yeah. Now feel the legs strong, and at your own pace, you're going to take a deep, full inhale as you bring your arms out to the side. Left hand to the block. Exhale. You're going to count your exhale. Twist on your hold after exhale. Gaze down to center, straighten the spine, full inhale as both arms come up. Practice that same thing on the other side. Find that rhythm to your exhale. Push the floor away, hold after exhale. And continue as we deepen.
I think it's still better for the neck.
Yeah, keep the chin softly tucked so that it's in alignment with the spine. Continue. On that hold after exhale, where can you twist and open? Push the floor away so the bottom arm is straight. Yeah, push, straighten the whole arm. Yes, beautiful. Now keep going 2 more times. Try adding a little 4-second hold after your exhale. If that's too strong and you already know it, repeat with the ratio that's appropriate.
Relax.
Now this last time, everybody come up, transition together, and we're going to stay in a forward bend. Go ahead and come down with a nice free breath. Relax the breathing and stay down. The weight of the head release, let the jaw relax. Remember, if you have any low back stuff, bend the knees. So the breath gets to be free. Let your body be free just to invite a little movement in. You can turn your head from side to side. You can bend and straighten the legs. Just be creative as we pause in the practice. Now to come up, we're actually going to massage the spine. I'd like you to all bend your knees and bring your hands to your thighs. And you're going to just tuck the tailbone under and just roll it vertebra by vertebra. Stocking the vertebra to a nice, tall, elongated alignment. Go ahead and heel toe back in to Tadasana. Let's face the valley here. Pause and feel. So as we are preparing our body for a seated pranayama, so this is an actual intentional practice to prepare our breath, I want you to just observe, was there any kind of gasping of the breath in the practice so far? And it's okay if there was. Oftentimes we find what our maximum is by trying that. And I just want you to take a little mental note of what that felt like so that in the rest of the practice we can move in that comfortable and steady breath threshold. Something that we can sustain. And as we transition back down to the earth, I'd like you to take a moment to bring your blanket, this time long ways, and stay with a little mat at the back of your setup. So you place your blanket down. There won't be any wrinkles. That just prepares us for this next pose. But again, I'd like to do another forward bend and come into it from the back of the mat. And you all were doing downward dog, so I think that's fine to transition with some upper body stuff. Just remember that instead of this movement with the neck, we want to feel that same pushing back into an imaginary wall. So let's just feel what that is like in Tadasana. And then bring your arms out in front, right in front of you. So here is plank position. Bring your palms open, right here. And just feel without gravity, that alignment of the head. There's no discomfort in the shoulders. There shouldn't be discomfort in the neck. Let's add that little abdominal exhale here. So there's this stability coming from a deeper core place. And we'll bring our arms down. So we're going to pause in a plank position, if appropriate, during this transition. So when you're ready, nice deep inhale. I'm going to tuck the chin as we roll down into a forward bend. Exhale, soften the knees. And take a few free breaths as you round the shoulders forward, hollow the belly in, and let's roll into a nice forward bend here. And again, just stay for a breath in the forward bend. I want you to bend your knees so much that your hands come to the ground. You're going to start to walk forward. And if your hands can reach the front of the mat, that's perfect. So you have a little grip. If not, just be mindful. We're going to pause in plank position. So we're going to stay here for 4 breaths. And I want you to see if you can play around with that alignment of the neck. If you need to come onto your knees, please do. Nice. Just tuck the chin ever so softly. I'll keep pushing into my fingers. Push back. Yes. Beautiful. Nice. After your 4 breaths, stay. Bring your knees to the ground and lower yourself all the way onto your belly. Nice forearm variation, Joe. I like that. Now, when you're on your belly, we're going to bring our arms back by the hips again. Turn your head one direction if that's comfortable. Just feel a little twist in the neck. So this next variation is heating. It's a heating for back bend. We're going to add the legs like we did at the beginning. Go ahead and turn your head the opposite direction. If you feel any discomfort or pinching in the lower back, then I want you to keep the legs glued to the ground. So you're in control of adapting this pose for your body. So everybody, bring your legs all the way together. Squeeze the legs together. If appropriate, you're going to lift the legs, arms, and chest on your next inhale. Come all the way up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, release, turn your head the opposite direction. And continue. So up on the inhale, option legs lift as well. And down on the exhale. So for you, Joe, I want you to keep your head in center. So your forehead will be to the ground. Go ahead and come up. And just stay for a minute. Swing your thumbs toward the sky the opposite way. Just stay there for a minute. Just going to turn the heart fixed. So okay for the lower back. I'm just going to release. And see if you can feel it. Squeeze muscles that are working, not just down, okay? When you're ready, go. Now everybody come up. And when you're ready, we're going to stay up to 4 breaths. 2 to 4 breaths stay. You're going to go the opposite way. Stay. Open here, but don't penetrate. Beautiful. After your 2 to 4 breaths, stay. Go ahead and release, and again, pause in child's pose. In your child's pose, inviting the tailbones to melt back towards the floor. And bring your hands all the way back over the hips. Just roll your shoulders. Feel okay? So breath gets to relax. Go ahead and rest your forehead on the block. So again, notice, is there any area that melts? a little bit more. Surrender into the pose, letting the pose do the work for you. Bring your hands back by the ankles for a moment. Say it again. Just bring your hands back by the ankles. And then very slowly, we're going to bring this breathing practice into our bridge pose. So when you're ready, go ahead and come onto your back. So bridge pose in this sequence is kind of like the climax of using the pranayama. And so it's really important that those notes that you took when you were kind of gasping for air, that we don't return to that. Again, this is something that we want to create the ratio when we're in bridge pose to something that's comfortable and steady. So that's kind of a nice balance of what we all need.
What about supported bridge pose?
That's a little bit different. If you feel for your back, go for it.
Go for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you bet.
Yeah.
Now, for everybody doing bridge pose, you're going to walk your feet a little bit closer towards your butt. And you should feel the feet really gripped to the earth. Now, you're like standing in Tadasana here, so your feet are 6 bone distance apart. I'm going to throw this up here. Make sure you're on level ground. And we're going to start to add some arm movements. So on your next inhale, I want you to return to the count of your breath as you bring your right arm overhead, coming into bridge pose. So lift your hips up, bring your right arm overhead. As you exhale, count your exhale to your head to the left. Sweep that right arm along the ground as you roll vertebra by vertebra back down. Same thing to the other side. So find your comfortable maximum count of that inhale. Come into bridge pose. Count your exhale. Find that comfortable maximum exhale. As you sweep the left hand along the ground, option turning your head to the right. Repeat with the right arm. Adding a 2 count hold after inhale. So you're all the way in bridge pose, your hips are lifted, you're holding after your inhale, and then you count your exhale as you release back down. So repeat to the other side. When you're all the way down, add a 2 count hold after your exhale. And both arms are going to come overhead with you. So as you inhale, you're going to bring both arms overhead with you. Again, 2 count hold after inhale. Count your exhale as you come down. Rolling down vertebra by vertebra, head is to center. Repeat that 2 count hold after exhale. Comfortable and steady. Both arms overhead again. 4 count hold after inhale. Full exhale, vertebra by vertebra. Last time with the arms, keep the rhythm. Repeat 4 count hold after inhale. Full exhale, vertebra by vertebra. Keep your arms down. Keep the ratio. Come up on the inhale. We're going to hold bridge pose. Your hold is equal to your inhale, and you're keeping a 2 count hold after exhale. So your hold after inhale is longer than your exhale.
or the hold after exhale. Tuck your chin in bridge pose, yes.
Comfortable and steady breath ratio, adapt it accordingly. 2 more breath cycles of the same ratio.
The end of this last ratio, go ahead and come down. Stay with your tailbone to the ground and still count your inhale and exhale, but no holds. So you're not just collapsing into an easy breath like you're panting. You are still mindful. Repeat that one more time. Just that comfortable maximum count of your inhale and exhale with no holds. Keep your tailbone to the earth. And now you're going to hug your knees into your chest. With your knees hugged into your chest, feel your lower back happy to be relaxed to the blanket, and just rock from side to side. If it's appropriate for you, let's go ahead and come into a lying down twist. Some of you know that that's not appropriate for you. So for those of you doing that, you're just going to bring your arms out to the side in the letter T, and then let your knees relax to one direction.
Oh, block. Sorry.
But first, hug your knees in first. Yes.
Yeah, some of you know adaptation, so I'm tougher on you. Go ahead and bring your arms all the way down. Yeah.
Feel that. It's kind of that
T?
surrendering.
Is it a T?
Yeah, it's kind of like a field goal tee right now.
Oh, field goal T.
That's where you are, but it doesn't matter. It should be comfortable for the neck and shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, so if it's okay for your head turn to turn the opposite direction of the knees, it should feel good.
I want the legs relaxed completely. And the feet rest down to the ground. You're okay?
So after a few breaths, stay on one side. Let's go ahead and stay to the other. Again, a few breaths. So some of you are going to feel this counterposing in a different way. Some of you might be like, oh wow, this feels great for my outer glute muscle, my outer hip. Others of you might feel, wow, I can feel that twist in my belly or in the spine. Letting it counterpose for your body. You can always come out of it sooner. A couple more breaths on the side. And if your breaths are really slow and extra elongated from the practice and you're 40, you feel like I'm rushing you on this side, then stay a little longer. If you stayed about the same on both sides, then when you're ready, bring your knees back into the chest. I'm coming into a little happy baby pose where the soles of the feet are to the sky, knees are nice and wide. And bringing your arms between the inner thighs, holding onto the shins or the outer part of your foot. Yeah. And now you get to rock from side to side. So you're using that movement to stretch the lower back and almost the whole spine. And simultaneously your hips are being stretched. Releasing. and taking your time to bring the feet back down. I'm just want you to pause and feel for a moment with the feet resting to the earth. We did some big back bends with Shalabhasana when we were on the belly. We also did a deeper back bend variation in Warrior One. So if you feel any part of your body needs a deeper forward bend before our relaxation, then you can come to a seated forward bend where you first come to one side, and then from a seated pose, your legs would be in front of you and you can stretch there. You also might feel a little more tension in the upper body, in which case you might want to just do some more arm circles. You get to choose.
So in the forward Paschimottanasana, I like to sit a little bit elevated. And then when you kind of lean forward, that's a nice variation. Just remember to bend your knees for your lower back. So it's less about the hamstring stretch here, and it's more about counter posing for the lower back and the whole spine. And if you do a lot of sports, even when you were younger or now, or a lot of hiking, you don't want to like pull and stretch too much in the hamstrings. Just give yourself the permission to bend the knees and stay for a couple more breaths in whatever stretch you feel is appropriate. And when you are ready, we're going to rest on our back for a couple minutes in Shavasana. As you understand, we've got these little mats around here, so as much as you can, get comfortable, free of distraction. You may want to fold your blanket out for the spine or use it for a little support for a pillow.
Most importantly, just make sure you're warm and comfortable.
So you might go put your legs up on this chair.
Thanks, Tom. I'm okay.
Are you okay?
Your back feel okay, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay. So just as we began letting the nature sounds just enter your ears effortlessly, allowing the pose of Shavasana, corpse pose, to nourish every cell of your being as you surrender completely to the earth. receiving the nourishment both within and from without, from your external world, anything that you need for this day and week ahead. When you're ready, feel your natural rhythm of your breath in this moment. Feeling the sensation of both your inhale and your exhale. And in many cultures, the breath is spirit. And when we breathe, we are uniting the spirit of the world and the cosmos with our own spirit. And I'd like you to take your time when you're ready to rest first in a curled up fetal position to one side. And not being rushed, but taking the intentional time to come to a comfortable, supported seated position for a seated pranayama. For the seated pranayama, you might want to sit in a chair. You might want to fold the blanket so your hips are elevated, or sit on a bolster. It's important that your spine is fully supported in that center so that when we're breathing, you are free of distraction from the physical body. So I'd like you, when you're ready, in your center, feel again the alignment of the head and the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Returning back to the count of your inhale and exhale so that they're both about 4 to 8, whatever you're working with. I'm going to recommend, if you're newer, just stay with the 4. Stay on a low number. Find the rhythmic feeling of the breath and the count in the mind. Both your inhale and exhale are the same count. On your next inhale, you're going to add a 2 count hold after inhale for 2 breath cycles. Moving to a 4 count hold after inhale for 2 breath cycles. Moving to a 6 count hold after inhale for 2 breath cycles. No hold after exhale. Keep the rhythm. And if you're already at your maximum, stay with this ratio. Otherwise, have your hold after inhale be twice as long as the count of your inhale and exhale. So if you're working with 4, the hold is 8. Continue for 4 more full breath cycles. Whatever ratio that is appropriate for you. To transition, drop your hold back down to the count of your inhale. So if you're working with 4s, drop the hold to 4 and repeat for 2 breath cycles. Releasing the hold, but continue to count your inhale and exhale. Now, even as the breath relaxes, as you pause into the space, feel how this pranayama is a preparation for meditation. And pause in stillness without the focus on the breath. Pausing again with your palms this time now at your heart center. Gratitude to all of the nature spirits around us. Gratitude to the earth beneath us.